Thank you, Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I just need to bring a few things to our attention. What happened in Bayelsa and Kogi were very lamentable. At this stage of our development as a country, if we are still talking about election along those lines, then we are not a serious country. I have first-hand personal knowledge of what happened in Bayelsa. Bayelsa borders a part of my constituency. And I was in Bayelsa 2 days to the election. I knew what I saw. I also knew what I heard. It is important that we understand that the key thing, the most important benefit of a democratic system is not in building roads or bridges or schools. Military governments build roads. They build schools. The most beneficial thing about democracy is the deepening of the character of due process, the most important of which is the sanctity of the ballot box. We have seen a continuing retrograding of our electoral system in the last couple of years. This House has a duty to respond to that degree of retrogression and respond very strongly. You see, you look around and you struggle to find the single biggest reason for Nigeria's diminution in the eyes of the global community. The reason is not far to seek. The reason is their lack of belief in this country as one that is capable of doing anything properly. And there is nowhere that lack of capacity to do anything properly is more demonstrated than in the electoral process. It is important that we take this matter seriously. Okay, there is creeping fascism in this country right now. They say macro changes result from micro choices. Bayelsa and Bayelsa and Kogi a few days ago. Before then, we tolerated the travesty we saw in a few states. I won't mention them, but we all know what happened. Now, the creeping fascism is getting emboldened more and more every day because of our tolerance of what happened before. So this House cannot afford to be silent in the face of the deliberate condonation of a system of election that is meant for prehistoric times. We are now in a different era, and we have to show our mettle as members of this House to deliberate in a bipartisan manner, or if you like, multi-partisan manner, and come to a consensus on what we should take and what we cannot take. It's important to understand this, because if we do not arrest this situation, it's going to come to a point where it will consume all of us. Okay? People have noted about it, noted the transference of power. Yes. Those giving it out today will be happy. Others are the short end of the stick. But the dynamic might change tomorrow. And you, laughing today, will be the one crying. But it's important that for us to understand the bounding duty you all have to shape the course this country wants to take. If we want democracy, then let's practice democracy. There's no such thing as democracy avant-garde. It doesn't exist. Democracy has settled tenets. We're not going to invent or reinvent the wheel by saying we have our own brand of democracy. Nothing like that. There's no brand of democracy that's peculiar to you. Democracy has one basic tenet. The tenets are settled. The most important of which is free and fair elections. We haven't seen that in this country in the last couple of years. We haven't seen that. We have seen a continuing attempt to diminish the hard effort of some people to bring us to where we are today. We are seeing a continued attempt by this government to basically destroy everything we know about democracy through the ballot box. So I urge my colleagues here to support this motion in a multipartisan way. And let's get cracking What we need to do as a house to arrest this ugly situation. Thank you.